Welcome to the Boys and Ivy Chicago Cubs podcast. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Boys and Ivy. I'm your host, Jason Mead, alongside my son, Parker Parkchop Mead. And we are excited to bring you this episode today. Why? Because PCA, Pete Crow-Armstrong, must be the leadoff guy in 2025. And we're here to tell you all about it. Parker is super stoked about this episode. And why is that, son?
I'm super stoked about this episode because he's my favorite player.
PCA's he's probably the most exciting player on this team, and I think he's up for a huge 2025, and we'll get that to it. We'll get to that in a second. But yesterday's big Cub news: Ryan Presley did an interview with Marquee Network yesterday on their show, and he did express how he would love, and he made it known that he would love to play with his ex-teammate from Houston, Alex Bregman. Parker, do you think this is a possibility?
It's a very well possibility. To be honest, it probably will happen. Even though I want Matt Shaw at third base, though, I kind of want to see how he turns out. You don't want a young guy to just go to waste. Like you traded for him. You either drafted him or you traded for him. You get that guy. You want him to turn into a dog. You don't want him to just go off and be in the minor leagues. And Matt Shaw's a great player. So in my opinion, I don't really want Alex Bregman. But what are your thoughts on it?
Well, like you said, I'm gonna piggyback up off you on the guys that we need to give shots in the minors to, because look at the logjam we got. We got Shaw in the minors, we got Alicante in the minors, we got James Triantos. Owen Cassie's another big one. Owen Cassie, to me, he should have probably been there last year. At least got a September call up, but he did not. So hopefully this year he will crack the big leagues. But those guys can never go anywhere because we're pretty locked down at a lot of positions. And I think this is exactly where, Owen Cassidy and some of those guys are. So Matt Shaw is going to get a chance to play. I want to see him play third base. I'm just like you. Now, Bregman, he's a World Series champ. He's an all-star. He's a heck of a third baseman. He gives us an option early because Nico Horner is hurt right out of the gate. So Shaw could play at second base and Bregman at third. But like you said, I want to let the young guys eat. Absolutely, for sure.
Yep, that's just that's what I say, because you don't want to just get a young guy that's a stud and then you just let him go to waste. You want him to get that playing time. Try to, like Pete, when he came up, he didn't have a very good start, but he started going through the year. He did okay, so you just kind of get him into it and see what happens.
Yep, and another thing that's cooking, there's a possible trade between the Padres Cubs for Michael King. They want what? Come on, man. The rumor on the streets is the Padres want Javi Assad, Alicante, and Owen Casey. Plus, there's a potential of some Dylan Cease. What do you think about that?
No. You better go bust. You ain't taking away Kevin Alicante and Owen Cassie, and especially Javier Assad. All those guys are young, and we want them to turn into dogs. Michael King is not as a great player as three great young guys. But Dylan Cease is a really good pitcher, too, at the same time. So I guess, he would fit in great.
Well, either one of those guys is probably going to be a 2 or 3 if we do get them. Javier Assad pitched really well last year. But if you bring on Dylan Cease, man, well, the only problem is if you dump all 3 of those guys, Michael King's a free agent, and I believe Dylan Cease is a free agent too. So do you really want to give up all that just for a 1-year rental?
We have a lot of money. We can just let him go to free agency and pick him up.
Well, I don't know. We'll see.
No.
But like we talked in the pregame, today's episode is Cubs must have this guy at the top of the lineup. 2025 Cubs player profile, PCA, Pete Crow-Armstrong. So we're going to go over what we expect out of Pete, what some of the people out there has put on Pete. But I'm excited about Pete because he is an electrifying player. He's one of the most fun guys that's definitely on this team. I mean, you just look at that inside the park home run, Parker. How'd you like that?
That was awesome, man. Every time he runs, he's so fast that his helmet falls off. They even asked him, "Do you wear a size too big in helmet just so your helmet can fly off?" No, he's just fast. And inside the Parker, woo, man, he was zooming.
What did he get from home?
That was a good ball too. That was a nice hit.
How fast did he get from home to home?
Do you remember? Was it like 14 seconds? Is it
13? 14 seconds. Gosh dang. If I went home to home, it'd take me an hour and a half. That's Mead speed. Shout out to Phil Ramey. He always calls me Mead speed because I guess I'm not the fastest guy in the world. But PCA would give us a huge spark at the top of the lineup, and that's exactly where we want him. Me and you all last year, the last 2 months of the season, what did we say, Park?
We want him at the leadoff guy. Why? Because he wins at the leadoff spot. He won with South Bend. He did great with the Pelicans. Like, I feel like they got to see that, Like, I mean, just because he wins, I mean, that's big. You want your team to win, and he's also a great hitter. He has experience from the leadoff spot. One reason maybe he fell down because he was hitting low. He was probably like, "Man, what the heck? Come on, I'm fast. I can hit. Just put me at the leadoff spot." It brings his confidence up, and he'll be able to hit better. Maybe.
Well, since we're talking about speed, what's the bobblehead of the day? You brought the bobblehead of the day out today.
So I don't have a Pete Crow bobblehead yet because all of them are the minor league ones, and I want the one in his Cubs jersey. So I thought I might bring out this one, the NASCAR.
The NASCAR Clark.
Yeah. It's pretty sweet because I can't put it up here, so I had to bring it on the side. So
Hap he was a leadoff guy the last, half of the season, and he did a good job. But me and you talk about Hap. What is Hap though? He's an
RBI hitter. He knocks in runs. That's why I think 3 or 4 spot, maybe 5. But yeah, because if you have a leadoff guy that can drive in runs, normally the most of the time he's not going to be able to have people on base for him to knock him in. So put him at a 3 or 4 spot. To be honest, I even put him at maybe a 5 spot. Just add on more guys. And man, I think I might change my lineup and put him at the 4 spot just because. But yeah, he drives and runs. He's a great player too. I liked him at the leadoff guy, but I want Pete there because he's fast and he can pretty much get on base pretty well. It was a little low, but we'll see. We'll see what happens with the lineup. We'll see what Craig does with it. But I want Pete at the leadoff spot, Hap probably at the 4 spot.
And a good leadoff guy sets the table for the rest of the guys. And I think this lineup of ours this year is going to put up some runs because our pitching staff is good, our bullpen's good. We just got to hit. So we'll go over PCA's rookie year stats. He had 237, 10 home runs, 47 RBIs. He had an OPS of 630, 27 stolen bags, but the on-base percentage, .286. And that's where we need to talk about what does he need to do to deserve that top spot in the lineup. And it is this. The most important aspect is on-base percentage, .286.
Maybe he needs to be a little bit more patient. He kind of swing at some pitches that were not very good pitches to swing at. But you also kind of like that aggressiveness. Let's just say aggressive.
Spit it out, pal. Good night.
We'll just say aggressive. But some guys like Seiya Suzuki, watch the pitch go right down the middle. Pete's gonna swing at that. He's an aggressive player. That's why I like him too at a leadoff spot. He swings. He did strike out 98 times though. That's pretty high, But maybe he'll get in the cage, see if he. One thing that if he could do is, I feel like he needs to pull the ball a little more. I feel like he needs to pull it a little more because I feel like he was kind of late a little bit when I would watch him. He didn't really pull it to that left side, but
right side, right?
Well, no, because if you hit it to left field, that's left field, and then that's right field. So
if he pulls it right. Goofball. It's all right.
We know he's a lefty. Oh my gosh, he's a lefty.
Oh my God!
Oh my God.
Wow, man! Wow. But no, I think PCA just needs to make more consistent contact. Contact is about, even if he rolls a ball to the shortstop. This is one thing that I tell you. What do I tell you, kids? When you hit a ball, what are we doing?
You're running as hard as you can. Right out of the box, run as hard as you can. Because if you're just jogging, you got a place on the team. Run as hard as you can. You want to get benched? No, run as fast as you can. You had nothing to lose. Come on.
So if you hit a ball back to the pitcher, Parker, if you hit a ball back to the pitcher, and you come out of the box flying, what does that do?
It puts pressure on the pitcher. I've done it before. I hit it up the middle, and the pitcher got it, but I was running as hard as I can. He threw it over an overthrow, and I got to second base. So
that's what you got to do. You got to put pressure. Always keep pressure on the defense. So we talked about Pete is a hacker, which we're a big fan of, and we talked about that. You were talking about Seiya Suzuki. The thing that drives me nuts about any Major League Baseball player, it drives me bonkers. When they take the first pitch right down the pipe, it's the best pitch possible to hit. Swing the freaking bat. Do you agree?
I agree.
And everybody's like, oh, we got to wear the pitcher down. Well, the pitchers anymore only go like 5 or 6 innings, and then you got 3 fireballers coming in the 7th, 8th, and 9th. So what's the big deal? You're not gonna tire out some of these pitchers. Just swing the bat. Nobody wants to go up there and watch them. And everybody's like, oh, he draws more walks. Tell me, how fun is watching a walk? I mean, I get it. It's
boring.
Part of the game. It's boring. It's boring. But it does get guys on base. It does score runs. But what are you going to remember? Are you going to remember PCA walking? Or are you going to remember a PCA ripping a ball down the right field line and it clanks off the wall and it trickles around in the right field corners and he's flying with his helmet flying off? Is that what you're going to remember? Or are you going to remember him?
Yeah. I'm going to remember him running and flying with his helmet falls off. That's what I'm going to remember, not a sneaking walk.
Yeah, and the worst thing you can do is take your son to a Major League Baseball game, and it's a 1-0 snooze fest. I want to see a 15-13 slobber knocker, something he's going to remember, not a 1-0 game. So we want to see offense. So start swinging at the first pitch because nobody pays the prices of these tickets that Ricketts has got us paying to come out here and watch a bunch of guys walk. Swing the bat. So, Pork Chop, why did Pete stop stealing though last year?
I don't know. I don't agree with it. I think he should be stealing. If you got a guy that is the fastest on your team and he's on first base, obviously, I mean, we just talked about taking pitches right down the pipe, but if it's a pitch right down the pipe and you want him to steal, you also don't want him to swing. I mean, it's tempting, but if you want him to get to second base so he can drive him, he gets to scoring position, he can drive him in. So I think we need to, when Pete gets on first base, you steal. You have him steal.
So the first 82 games, he was 23 of 23. Never thrown out. Never. And in the last 41 games, Parker, what happened?
7 attempts, 4 steals, got caught 3 times stealing. But his on-base percentage did jump to a .321.
And that to me should have put him in the top of the lineup because he was on fire at the end. Fire!
Fireball.
Oh, 20-25 stolen base numbers. Over under 40 bags, Park.
Over.
How many bags?
I think I'm going to go. I think he's going to end up with 42. And he's going to get caught stealing once.
You know what? I'm going to 10 up you. I'm going to go his jersey number. 52. 52 stolen bags for PCA in 2025. So why do we say that put him in the leadoff spot? And it's easy because, Parker, you told everybody earlier. Why? Why is it? He's just
He wins. He's a winner.
And like I said, Myrtle Beach and South Bend, and they won the championship with South Bend. Pete slashed a 312 average, 376 on base, 896 OPS. Parker, how many dongs?
16 dongs.
16 dongs, 20 doubles, and 10 triples.
That's
Now,
impressive.
that is impressive. 10 triples. It's harder to get a triple than it is a home run. And also, when he was with Iowa, Iowa's record was 82 and 65. Parker, read off the numbers to him in Iowa.
He had a 273 batting average, 20 dingers, 82 ribbies, and an OPS of 876.
And I think he was the leadoff guy pretty much the whole time. I want to say that he was the minor league player of the year, and then he got called up. Now he didn't get it. He didn't record a hit that last. When he did get called up at the end of 2023, he didn't get a hit until he came back in 2024, and his first hit was a what?
A smacking homer.
Dong to right center field. Now Craig Counsell has told Bruce Levine that he would be open-minded idea of being the leadoff guy. Maybe not at first because, like I said, Ian Happ's in that spot. But we've already talked about that. And like we said, we like Happ as more of an RBI guy. Yeah. And I think, like I said, I think at first, I want to say give him 20 games. I'm going to say in 20 games, PCA will be the leadoff guy. So, what are your number predictions for PCA for 2025? Here are the crew from your buddies, the Marquee. They went ahead and gave him some numbers here. Go ahead and read them off. The 2025 Fangraph predictions.
From the Marquee. 244 batting average, 16 dongs, 67 ribbies, and a 703 OPS, and 30 stolen bags.
So what are your predictions of it, Park?
I think he's going to have a 268 batting average, 22 dongs. I'm going to go with 74 RBIs and 42 stolen bases. And a let's go with a 745 OPS.
Oh, 745, I like it. Hopefully we get the OBP up if he is a leadoff guy. But I think PCA is going to hit around 262. I think he's going to hit 21 homers, and I think he's going to end up with 72 RBIs, an OPS right about 725, and I think a 52 stolen bases.
Wait, how many RBIs?
72. 72. Is that what you said? I think that's what you said too, wasn't it?
I said 74.
74.
I think.
So Parker's had a little history with PCA. Obviously, he is his favorite player. I don't know if it'll be all time, but currently it is your favorite player, and there's a lot of reasons why, right? Let's go ahead and start with some of the reasons.
Well, one reason why is because I was sitting behind home plate and Pete was on deck circle, and I asked him a question. I can't remember obviously what question it was, but he's talked to me on deck circle while he's getting ready to hit, and then after the game he came and gave me this bat. It says, it's kind of hard to see, but
it is actually Owen Cassie's broken bat.
Yeah. Owen Cassie's broken bat to Parker plus Owen. So Pete signed it and he said plus Owen on it. So, and then we went to the Cubs convention the next year. We got him to sign it. And yeah, I guess you can say the rest is history.
So basically, even after that game, when you and your buddy Silo, we went out after the game and we were talking to him, and he took the time out to really talk to you guys. He even asked you guys about your baseball stuff and what you guys like to do. So instantly right there, I knew I was a PCA fan alongside my son, because it is cool. I mean, I'd have loved if I was an 11-year-old kid and Ryan Sandberg would have talked to me for 20 minutes and actually paid attention to me. Another thing that I like about PCA is when we do go to the Cubs convention, I mean, he's a starter now. He's played an entire year with the Cubs. And usually when we do a youth camp on Sunday, they do a youth camp on Sunday for the convention. And the one cool thing about it is that even though Pete was there all last year, where was he at? Where was he
He
at?
was there.
He was there. He
with
was
the
there at the
kids.
youth camp. And I think to be a superstar, you got to gain some fans. And I think Pete really does. He resonates with the youth guys, the young kids. He's electric. He's fun to watch. And we got to get these young guys watching baseball. A lot of these kids are on their phones. I mean, when's the last time a lot of kids actually sit down and watch an actual baseball game? Most of the time, you just watch the highlights on SportsCenter, right?
Yeah.
Now I mean, we have it on TV all the time.
Yeah.
You love watching the games. So we're gonna give you a couple pictures here of Pete and Parker, you know, kind of over the years. But this past the Cubs convention, I made this little logo, and we talked about it through our podcast, you know, in the previous podcast. But we made a little logo of a crow diving for a baseball, and Parker we were gonna put it on a shirt for Parker, but he said, "No, Dad, what'd you tell me?"
I said, let's put it on a shirt and give it to Pete.
So Pete, he gave it to Pete. He also gave Pete a Kenneville Titans baseball cap, our little league team, and Pete put it on after a game and wore it into the parking lot. So that was pretty cool. He thought that was cool. But here is the picture of PCA and this. Look at the surprise on his face when you gave him that T-shirt. It's pretty sweet.
Yeah, it's pretty cool to see like that. Like he liked it. He's pumped about it. He liked it.
Yeah, and there's him and Bryson along with PCA in the shirt. And he basically told him, he gave him an 11 out of 10. He nailed it. And we talked a little bit about that. But here's some of the pictures from Parker when he went up to the Cubs Junior Broadcaster when he won. This is Lexi, Parker, and PCA. This is a great picture, something they can remember. And this was right before PCA took you out to do what, Park?
I played catch with them. I played catch.
Right there it is.
It was awesome. It was so fun just to play with my favorite player. Like that's just like you playing catch with Ryan Sandberg. It's cool to play with my favorite player. Like as I was just playing catch with them, I had a smile on my face the whole time.
And this was one of the other pictures from Cubs convention before. This was when he was in AAA. But here is the picture that was the night that you met PCA. That was the night he gave you that Owen Cassidy bat right there. And also that was the night that he talked to you for like 20 minutes after the game. And now you're a lifelong fan of PCA. And we're excited about his year. Hopefully he tears it up. And question, will Pete be a superstar, Parker?
Yes, he will.
He might be our most marketable player right now. I don't know, Michael or Kyle Tucker. Man, Michael. Why am I going Michael? I was getting ready to go there again. But yes, I think Pete will be an absolute superstar in Chicago. Hopefully he can keep it going. And I think he's going to have a heck of a year. Looking forward to this. And I think the Cubs are going to be pretty dang good this year. And everybody's so worried about the Dodgers, but all it takes is just to have a dog in the fight. A dog in the fight and give you a chance.
It depends on the day. Even if they have such a good team, it depends on the day. Some players suck some days. Some players do good some days. So
that's it. And we got to see what happens. And like I did comment on the last podcast we did, the main part to me about our team is our defense. Our dogs. And they are going to get after it. And we're going to play some defense behind that good pitching staff. And all we got to do is scratch some runs here and there. I also have here on Willie Harris comments. A couple years ago, I got a chance to talk to Willie Harris at the Cubs convention. And I was just asking him some BS and with him about some stuff. But I asked him about just some certain players. I said, Cody Bellinger. And at the time, he said, we must re-sign Cody Bellinger. That was his answer. I said, Seiya Suzuki. He said, Seiya Suzuki is the best player on the team. And I said, Pete Crow-Armstrong. He said, one word. He said, superstar. That's exact comments what Willie Harris said. He said, PCA is a superstar in the making. And I agree with him. And obviously you do too, right?
I agree with him. Cody is a great player, but just now, Pete's gonna get that center field spot, and then you got Bush at first base. It's kind of to be honest, who would you rather have, Cody Bellinger or Michael Bush?
I don't
And
know.
who would you rather have?
I like
your
them both. I like them both. I think Michael Bush
I like Bush.
Michael Bush is cheaper, but he had a pretty good rookie year. I mean, that's a pretty good rookie year. And
Yeah.
he had some hot streaks last year, and I think he's just going to get better.
One thing I like about Cody though is he hits bombs and he can hit for average. So
and he fights off pitches.
Like one reason. Yeah. Yeah, like I used to see some video from last year. I saw videos and stuff. He fought off like 6 pitches in a row. I mean, like that's a great at-bat.
He was fun to watch. He was fun to watch fighting them pitches off last year, and I hate seeing him go because I think he's going to do really well in New York. But like you said, you want PCA to get as many chances out there in center field this year. You want him to play 162 if he can, and I'm looking forward to it. So now we have 10 days, baby, until pitchers and catchers report to camp. And we're not far off from spring training. How excited are you for spring training, Park Chop?
I'm really excited to see if Owen Cassie's going to do as good as he did last year and maybe get a bench spot.
Well, let's hope so. We'll have to wait and see. But yes, and then we also want to thank you guys for tuning in to another podcast. We're enjoying making these things. You guys are definitely, giving us some good comments and some feedback on the show, and we can't thank you guys enough. So if you could like and subscribe, follow us on YouTube, follow us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. This is a father-son podcast, and it is nothing more enjoyable to make a podcast with my son over something we both love and enjoy. So Parker, break us down, bub.
This is Boys and Ivy, and we out.
Thank you for watching the Boys and Ivy Cubs podcast. And like always,
go Cubs, go!